No concession sessions. This is the earliest I think we've ever done this curfew.
Oh, this is great.
Right and early. It's a beautiful Sunday here. Got a mimosa in Micah Howard's hand from the Ellies.
Yep.
Good morning, Micah.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming. Fellow Tennessean. I don't know if you knew that about me.
Are you from Tennessee?
Yeah.
Where?
I was born in Bristol and lived most of my life in Jonesboro, Johnson City.
Okay.
Until high school and went back to Bristol.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, congrats. You didn't get hooked on meth.
Nope, I didn't. I had a pretty good group of friends, man. They're all two of them, my buddies, married their high school sweethearts. The other couple of them moved away a little bit, either to Nashville or Atlanta. It's where like the more vibrant economies were. Yeah. I could have went down that path, dude. I loved this lady in high school. She ended up going to the pen, man. She was sweet. Her mama used to get mad at me all the time, saying I was a bad influence. And then once I moved away to Virginia, she lost her way. I wanted to tell her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that area, I love it. I go there a lot. I fished a lot of those little blue line streams, but it can get pretty squidbillies up there.
Yeah, it does. It's wild.
Hold my hat while I fuck your wife.
Yeah, it can be threatening. But I learned a lot about how to deal with people. That's how I think I'm having a good time in Winchester. It's like a 50-50 city. Northern Virginia, mid-Atlantic vibe mixed with straight up Ozark. You know what I mean?
You're talking here?
Yeah. It's like a good mix between the two.
Man, I love it here. This is a very special place. That's why I play here so much. There's something about the people here. I have like 40 houses I can spend the night at here.
That's awesome.
Anywhere else on the road, I don't really get that. Even Nashville, it just doesn't happen like that.
Right.
I call this the Shire of the Shenandoah.
That sounds cool.
That should be a song.
Yeah.
The Waterbridge Band, do it.
That's the first time I saw your logo. Well, I think Logan was wearing your fish shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Brookie.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah.
And then it just become like a standard. And you played here. Who was the act you opened up for here?
Steelwoods.
Oh, that's right. Nice.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
I saw them fellas in West Virginia last Saturday. In White Sulphur Springs.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a chance for me to watch a show outside of being an operator. And I really loved that song, Axe. When I first heard it, I was like, man. And those dudes were cool to deal with. Their road manager, Brad, was fucking chill. The city of Winchester here, the wonderful parking maid guy, he wanted to tow the tour bus.
Yeah.
So Ron McGee, Wes Bayless, and me and Grabowski are out here holding tree limbs back and stuff so we could move that tour bus back to about 10 feet. Because we couldn't let the driver get in it. He needs to sleep for CDL. You know what I'm talking about? He couldn't be.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's by law.
Yeah, so I'm just like, really, Winchester? Is this what we're doing for 10 feet? Lord have mercy.
Yeah. But other than that, it
was a great
ended
night.
up well.
Were you here for that part?
Yeah,
When
I
we
was
were moving the tour
watching
bus?
it.
Oh, shit.
It looked
That's
like
great.
y'all had it handled.
Yeah, it was a situation. It was hilarious. Yeah, dude. Hey, what is happening with the Native American references and then the sound of these songs, dude? I'll get more into it, but what's that references about? Like, is that part of what you study? Being out there on the river?
I really love Southeastern history. I mean, I love American history, but Southeastern. And really, I've been getting really into, the Smokies and the Blue Ridge and all that. And when I'm not playing music, I'm fly guiding in East Tennessee on the Tellico River. And Tellico is like the Washington, D.C. for the Cherokee. So you go up there and you just like feel the history all the time. And it just influences the plants, the mushrooms. It just influences. It all kind of connects with that.
Right.
So when I'm writing, it's just like, I know I do it a lot. I'm trying to dial it back and do some other shit, but I just enjoy it so much, talking about all that history, because it's so fascinating. These people that lived during these hard times that built this age of comfort and ease that we have right now. Think about what they had to do to get, just even before the colonials, when no white men were on the continental U.S. and I don't know, it just fascinates me. And what really spurred it off is my cousin down in Georgia. His granddaddy, not my blood, was like 70% Cherokee, and you could really see it in him. He got a lot of that, like the kid from King of the Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking? You can see it in him. He's got like the little side whisker on the corner of the mouth.
Yeah.
And he was just like so athletic, like Legolas from Lord of the Rings or something, because he had that Cherokee blood in him.
Right.
And he was just like always a role model. And I found out he was pretty much full-blooded, more than most Cherokee Indian. I just gravitated towards that, and that fed up to where I am now. I've just always been into the Last of the Mohicans kind of vibe.
Hey man, I walked up to where that was filmed
in North Carolina,
outside of Asheville.
Yeah,
well,
that shit's awesome.
Yeah, that's a hell of a hike.
I forget the name of that fall.
I don't remember, man. On the way up there, I was riding with some buddies, and we had a good breakfast, wake and bake and whatnot. And I'm heading up this mountain, and my buddy was hype on caffeine, listening to Limp Bizkit, dude. He's going so fast up that mountain. Me and my buddy, we didn't say anything, but we were like, "Good God, you're fucking driving like a maniac," is what I'm thinking in my head. And I just reached out. I said, it was really like awkward quiet, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, do you want to kill the guy on the motorcycle in front of you? Has he done something to you that I'm unaware of?" And then my buddy up front was like, "Yeah, for the love of God, dude, why are you driving like this? I'm glad Justin said something." But it's something about that, those mountain ranges and the thickness of it all. And I guess where you and I are from would have been state of Franklin at one point. There was a big war about that.
Yeah.
And Carolina was all the way through the state of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And you say I think that's the southernmost part of the valley, wouldn't you say? Right before you get to Chattanooga, right after Chattanooga, before you get to Atlanta, and that Stone Mountain area.
It comes in, and once it hits Georgia, it turns into that Georgianess. But yeah, that valley ends right there.
So you think it kind of, well, if you're going north, it would start there and then go all the way up into PA, the Alleghenies. Is that a valley? I mean, when you drive on 81, you're in a valley.
Tennessee River Valley?
Well, there's East Tennessee River Valley, and then there's a Shenandoah Valley, and I think they essentially meet. It's essentially the same trail if you were.
Yeah, it does the same thing that it does at Georgia, but just for a little bit, and then it widens up into that Shenandoah. The Shenandoah it's like a different beast from it too,
right?
Because the Tennessee River Valley is kind of like Alabama-ish, whereas I'd say Shenandoah is, I don't know, West Virginia meets fucking Maryland or something.
Right. Well, there's something about the energy in that area. There has to be. Like you were talking about the energy that the Native American history and all that kind of gives you. When I was listening to your music, it's smooth vocals. It doesn't come across as twangy, and there's a lot of synth and key implementation. It's kind of unique. The way it kind of is dreamy, especially in intros and outros, you kind of hear it. It's always through the song, but it's isolated that's what I'm hearing.
Oh hell yeah! You picked up on that?
Yeah,
nice.
Very
that was
smooth.
on purpose.
Good. Yeah, it's really good, man.
Well, I try to like pull from like Pink Floyd, especially this new single,
right?
Ballad of the Chill Howie Hermit. Like I got that synth opener, and then the ender with thunder, and I guess it's loon birds.
The loon.
Yeah. Like, ho!
Yeah. It's a great time.
So I just kind of wanted to blend that story with like a Coulter Wall, Pink Floyd kind of mix.
I like it. And, with artists doing sounds that are unique like that, but still using the roots within it, that's like, I think that's my favorite music, dude. It's like, that's what I really want to listen to for hours. I've been trying to figure it out, Curfew. I was at this metal show yesterday, and I remember one time in my life, I was young, angry, 20-something.
Yeah.
And I was really identifying with this music. You know? But now I respect it, and there's some song parts I'll stop and watch. But just as a human being on a regular basis for ambiance in my life, I prefer it to be root-based music that has texture and good lyrics.
Very fluttering words you're using.
As a 40-year-old Justin. That's what I'm into, bro. What do you think you're gonna be into when you're 40, Curfew? Right now, you're into robot alien music.
Probably the same deal. Maybe a little bit softer, more chill vibes.
Roots meets robot alien music.
Pretty much.
Sweet.
Well, you do EDM.
Yeah.
I was hard into EDM when I was in the Marine Corps, middle 20s.
Well, I was a big emo and metal guy, and then I got into dubstep when I was like 13 or 14, and I just stopped listening to metal. And now when I listen to metal, I can't stand it. I hate it. I like country more. So basically, my whole thing is like metal, dubstep, and now I'm in my country phase.
You're kind of in my wheelhouse a little bit. I get fucking weird as shit with my genres.
Well, when I'm working out, I like some metal. Not the whole time. I like a lot of hip hop when I'm working out too, but a little bit of metal in there. And then if I'm ever feeling sorry for myself and thinking, man, blah, 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 getting all stressed out, acting like a little bitch, I put in some good fucking hardcore metal, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Post-hardcore mix. And I just, especially if it's choppy with a lot of breakdowns and it's just groovy. And then at the end, I don't feel sorry for myself anymore. I say, like, fuck it. Tomorrow's a new day. We're going to go in there and bring the pain.
Yeah.
And sometimes on my way to work, just to make sure my mind's right and I'm not acting like a little bitch, I'll play some Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
And I'll come in there.
I was about to say,
go.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
No, you can't feel like a little bitch.
Right.
And listen to Wu-Tang.
No. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Exactly. Dude. It's the motherfucker music.
Yeah. You need that in your life sometimes.
You really do.
It's a snap too.
And honestly, I'm trying to do that. I really try to do that with my album. That's my older album. Because new country music is so bitchy.
It's very vanilla.
Well, it's like these dudes are simping. The lyrics are, you're simping over some crazy bitch who's gonna probably cheat on you anyways. You know?
Right.
I didn't mean to say bitch.
It's okay, man.
In reference to.
Is it females?
I know. I'm simping myself. See?
Yeah, don't do it, buddy.
But like, my point is like, you know, Waylon and Willie and all them, especially Waylon, his lyrics are more like Wu-Tang's as opposed to, you know, like dealing with women and, you know, love and all that. And he's got his love songs, but it's never like, I'll sit on the front porch and wait for you while you fuck my brother.
Lord, it's hard being a cuck when all you got is a truck. What I dislike the most about current status in country music is what I had to hear yesterday and endure for some of my staff members playing me that ungodly, forbidden, synthesized Drake drums with country music mixed in it with lyrics with a country artist allegedly kind of rapping to me. I do not want to hear that associated with country music. I don't.
Yeah.
If I had a shirt that said "Stop doing that," and can you come up with that merch for me, Curfew? About how I don't want you to put 808 drums and synthesizers, not yours, that sound like Drake in this thing and rap to me.
I like it. I mean, like Broadway?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is people are listening to it. People like it. It's all food.
Yeah, let them
eat
it.
I've seen somebody put peanut butter on their hot dog, and it's disgusting, but, you know.
I'm going to stop hating, man, but I tell you what, that is, if I was going to have the Hater of the Year award presented to me, it would be from the modern country industry. Would like to celebrate the Hater of the Year award nominee, Justin Timpenny, for his disdain and hatred for the merging of hip-hop and pop sounds with country music. Stop doing that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be a slogan associated.
Man, it's rough.
Well, I saw, who was it? Was it Dylan Wolfel wearing a shirt that said, "Write songs that matter"?
Oh,
I really like that.
That's Tony Logue.
Is that Tony's?
Yeah.
That's a badass slogan. Tony is, I haven't met him in the flesh, but I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
The Kentucky gentleman.
Yep. For sure. He has that cool artwork too.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you had to do semi-active duty and things like that in between touring and all that?
No, I just did 5 deployments in the Marine Corps, 3 to Afghan, 1 to Spain. I did a lot of work with Israelis, and then I went to Gitmo on my first one. I kind of went backwards there. Gitmo was like...
Was it back in the day when it was getting press?
No.
Okay.
Well, Afghan, yeah, we got into it. I just got addicted to it. It's an adrenaline rush. Going to war is like going to your grandma's house for Thanksgiving. It's pretty boring most of the time. But then some uncles will get in a fight, and you're like, oh, shit.
That's the most awesome explanation I think I've ever heard.
That's over, and it's boring again. You just want to go home. It's kind of like a lot of that. It's
great analogy, man. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that's in your blood, dude. I hope there's a lot more people like that.
Yeah, there are. But a lot of them are blue collar.
Yeah.
And they don't really have a big voice right now, unfortunately.
I think from a recruiting standpoint, man, they got to get with the health and fitness and the attention span of the youth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, recruiting sucks right now. They're all hurting for reasons.
For dudes. Like, just straight up dudes that are idiots that you can turn into machines. Or that are already highly intelligent and want to do this.
Well, some of the dumbest and the smartest people I've ever met have been in the Marine Corps. And that's kind of like a Marine in general.
Yeah.
He's the smartest and the dumbest person you'll ever meet.
Right.
Because we can find our way out of any situation. We always kind of have tabs on what's going on, scanning, looking. But we'll just do some stupid shit like
risk tolerance.
Eating crayons.
Exactly. That's cool. Well, I'm glad that exists. I hope we can replicate some of that in the future. Curfew, you need to go out there and have some babies, dude. Get you about 3 or 4 West Virginia type babies so the future can be.
It's hard to find a person I can donate my seed to. That's the tough part.
Well, you can get paid to do that, can't you?
Yeah, you get your biography out there. Show them like you got the young Arnold Schwarzenegger jawline. You know what I mean?
Nah, I don't know. I do want kids. I want 3 kids.
That'd be good. Or 6.
I think I'm due. I'm due for a kid. I'm due for that next part of life.
Well,
they're expensive.
You better make sure you got a good woman, man.
Yeah, that's the kicker.
Yeah.
That's the doozy.
My pawpaw told me 2 things will fuck your life up. Drugs and women. The bad kinds.
That's what that was at the end of the quote?
Yeah.
The bad kinds. That's great.
I just basically considered that I want to be a stepdad before I become a real dad. I kind of have that possibility now.
That sounds complicated.
Yeah.
Right off the jump.
Well, they all got kids now, man. I'm 26. They all girls my age all have kids.
Yeah.
26, yeah. That's a kid age. That's when they start yeah.
It used to be like between 16 and 21 back in the 70s, maybe 80s.
Testosterone levels and all that shit's down, man.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I've been taking tests. I'm telling you, it's changing my life.
Getting out there, getting after it.
Energized, quick. And I've been taking a Optimine.
What is that?
You get it at Walgreens. You used to not be able to. I think it's Joe Rogan's.
Probably, dude.
It's like
Uncle Joe's always on.
Yeah, but I started taking it, and I'm a little bit quicker now. Really, what it's all doing is making me be able to drink a lot more, and withstand a lot more of that, and function. Damn it, it makes you a function alcoholic, I guess.
Yeah, if you're going to be a touring musician and you need a little social lubricant on a somewhat regular basis, you're going to have some quick recovery
taxing,
times,
man.
Right?
You know, you deal with it too.
I'm out here every weekend.
You got to be constantly talking to people because it's all about like someone in Nashville told me they met Alan Jackson and he was a dick to them. And then they didn't like Alan Jackson, didn't listen to his music. Because they probably caught him on a bad day.
Was he at the fucking Denny's and they just walked up to him or what?
Well, he was it was in Franklin, Tennessee where he lives, and they were driving by and he was fixing his fence.
Right.
They're like, that's Alan Jack. They stopped. are you Alan Jackson? And he started, I don't know the rest, but he was pretty rude to him.
Yeah.
Pretty much to get him out of there. So, yeah, and that's why they say don't meet your heroes. Because I've met a couple of mine. It's just not, because we like make them out to be like Jesus, then you meet them and you humanize them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little buzzed right now.
That's cool, man. I get it. I get what you're saying. I met Peyton Manning, dude, and it was fucking cool shit. He was exactly how I would have expected and wanted him to act.
Really?
And yeah, he's super cool. He was just out of Tennessee. He came back for a game. My dad and I had season tickets. We were hanging out, and he's just standing over there. I was like,
when he played for UT?
He had already been drafted by the Colts. I think he was going into his second year in the league.
Yeah.
And he was back on campus just visiting. And I was like, holy shit, it's a Peyton. I just walked up and said, Peyton Manning. How you doing, young man? It's fucking awesome to meet you, Peyton Manning. You know, and at this time, I think me and my dad, we didn't have our, back in the day, you had the Kodak disposable joints. Because I wanted to get a picture with him, but I didn't have it in my pocket. It was back at the car. Yeah. You know, nobody had smartphones all the time. It's not like you running around with cameras.
Yeah.
And then we were there for a little bit, and then he looked at his guy, because people identified him, and they started to gather, and he had to tell somebody, he's like, all right, bro. And then he kind of handled it and got him down to wherever he's going to his suite or whatever the hell.
So he had security with him?
Yeah, but they didn't look like security. It was campus security mixed with private security.
Oh, okay.
You know,
that was probably a big paycheck they got for that one, though.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's a good gig for them.
Yeah, that's like 110,000 people around there. That's a high security threat, dude.
But
plus
see,
all the
Peyton
street
was
people.
Cool with you.
Yeah, he was very cool.
So now you probably love him even more.
Yeah, totally.
So that's the thing is like, as a touring musician, you're not just a musician. I mean, there's a lot of politics with it. You got to kiss babies and you got to really mean it too.
Right.
You know, because people are good. You meet so many good people doing this and so many interesting people. People are fucking interesting. We're bickering on Facebook and stuff, but when we talk face to face, there's still a lot of love out there with your fellow human. I feel it.
I think hate is a vicarious thing that happens with autonomy and something in our brain. It's like, ooh, I can be hateful and honest. You know, I don't have to worry about repercussions.
I think it's tribalism.
Yeah.
I think we get tribalized and we get ideas and we just hold on to them and won't get out of it.
It's a survival mechanism because if you're in a group, you got to have a like-minded purpose.
Yeah.
And then, dude, you get fucking group of people, a team with a like-minded purpose and sincerity for one another. They'll fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Yesterday, my team was like that. And they were like that with Brian Martin, too. That dude's cool. Have you listened to his music?
No, I haven't. I'm going to check him out.
He's a cool dude. And then we got Pony coming at the end of the month, Pony Bradshaw. And then you get to come back here and perform with that dude.
I'm excited. I hear he is an awesome dude. And I really, really like his music.
Nice.
I think it's nice. I'm glad y'all are having him and having me here with him to help him out.
When you perform, are you going to drop a new record after the single?
Yeah, literally after the Pony show, we're going to Nashville and we're getting in the studio and probably recording about 20 songs.
Right.
I'm projecting into August a 3-song EP and then we'll get the rest out there.
That's
but I'm thinking into August because I think we're making a little bit of a new genre. I'm calling it Southern Grunge.
That sounds cool.
My guitarist, Daniel, he's big, really influenced by like Alice in Chains, Lane Staley.
Love Jerry Cantrell. That
early 90s grunge rock. And I have a huge, like, that's where a lot of mine comes from. Like, my singing is, it's influenced by Ronnie Van Zant and Tom York from Radiohead. Like,
nice.
Tom's got that high pitch and he delves into a lot of minor chord stuff and melodies. So I'm trying to like meld that together. I think we're going to be able to do it after Pony.
I used to like this reference, but I don't as an older man and as a writer, he is not influential to me at all. But as a younger man, Neil Young was influential. I think you have a little bit of Neil Young, but with a genuine Southern.
I get that
accent.
a lot. Yeah, thank you for that. That's a compliment, man. I appreciate that. Even though he's been a little whiny baby lately.
Well, I think when you get to a comfortable status in life, you probably aren't optimistic about freedom of speech helping your cause any longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just survivalism to be like, oh, I have made it here to the hill. I do not want everybody else to try to come up on top of the hill. It's starting to make me feel afraid.
Yeah.
No more free speech for you.
Yeah, like what so the ironic. Fuck,
man? Yeah.
I think Joe Rogan handled that situation very professionally and tactfully when that was all going down. Yeah. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good thing. Couldn't cancel.
But Neil is a great songwriter.
Yeah.
And my dad, he was a player. It was before. It's so much easier with social media now. He's playing back in like the early 90s, doing like bars and breweries. But he was really influenced by Neil Young.
Yeah.
And I'd hear that. I think that might be where that comes from because I kind of subconsciously learned that.
Yeah. Whenever I think back to some of the music that I like around here and to your music, I think back to the isolation of the Cherokee and how they were there for so long. And then my family thought that my dad thought that we had Cherokee. And I was like, I got a couple professors that think that this is definitely a United Kingdom based name, like, and that we're incorrect on the last name. And he's like, oh, they don't know shit. I was like, well, I don't know. She's got a doctorate from UVA. I think she knows about this stuff. And then later the DNA stuff started coming out and whatnot. And I kept doing the history background. And I was like, these are Irish people that ended up in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because they were indentured servants.
Yeah,
And they didn't want to deal with the shit up here in the Northeast.
Exactly.
So there's a bunch of free land. And they barely knew any English at all. Mm-hmm. And then the Cherokees barely knew any English, and they interacted and found peace. They found a way to coexist.
Yeah.
And I think that's respect for the wilderness and that thickness to go from one place to another, how long it actually takes.
Yeah.
And how much effort. Yeah. And there were no roads or very little roads.
Yeah.
And then they were hearing their tribal musics and singing, and then they had this Gaelic style of playing, these traditional Irish songs and stuff, and that became country music, dude, or what we'll call country music. I think on the Midwest and so on, I think that was more Western music that was influenced maybe from, if you listen to mariachi bands and stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And some Mexican music, how they're singing a song.
Yeah.
That was like the West Coast vibe.
Yeah.
But I think that definitely Southwest Virginia, East Tennessee, I don't know what was going on really in northern parts of Georgia, but I think that's where the current music we love was majorly born.
Yeah, it all derives out of the Appalachians, that mix of Gaelic, which kind of made bluegrass, and I think country is that and Delta's like swamp blues and Memphis blues.
I love the sound of a dobro.
Yeah, you just jam those together and you got like 40s to 60s era country.
Have you used any backup singers like a Southern gospel choir yet?
No.
You should, dude.
You think?
Yeah, you should listen to some Moby. I know this is going to sound stupid.
I like Moby.
Listen to some Moby and then...
He's a fellow bald dude.
Right on. And then listen to some Southern gospel, because I could hear that. And your voice would do good.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
Are you and Logan friends? I think
Logan's one of my best buds.
He's cool. We got them fellas supporting Steel Drivers in here in September. We're trying to make a deal out of it.
That is gonna be.
Are you in town for that week?
I'm gonna be here for that for sure, because that's huge. Yeah, I want to be here to support.
We have we have a wedding on the main floor of the monument that day, but the sub levels we don't. So. Make sure you come and check it out. The sub-level down there will be ready.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's called 18th Rebellion, which is 18th Amendment.
Yeah.
and our rebellion against it had we been here in
Yeah.
1921 or whatever. I think that's when this building was built, actually, 1921.
It looks 20s.
And that's around the Prohibition era. So it's been a hard fucking job, dude, to tear up a subterranean vault system.
Oh, I bet.
To put a modern day eatery.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's mostly about the drinks and about the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But you can be down there and watch what's going on up here on the TVs, and the audio system is insane. It pumps right down there.
Really?
There's speakers all over the place. There's subwoofers hidden in vault doors and stuff.
No shit.
It's wild.
God, this place is just turning into Battlestar Galactica.
I hope so. That'd be awesome. Yeah, dude, I'll let you check it out.
Shit, if you keep going, just build me a little room so I can sleep here and just like live. I'll help you with taxes.
Well, the thing is, you have to do smart growth and do proof of concept, and then that helps your feasibility for the next project.
Oh, you're speaking Chinese to me right now.
You got to prove it makes money to make more money.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Winchester's a unique market.
What do you mean?
Well, it's a proxy situation between people that understand urban shopping and urban developments where they use parking garages frequently.
Yeah.
And people here that absolutely do not want to think about being in a parking garage.
Yeah.
And so if you have like a small shopping center, that's kind of what this is, a mall, you really can't park down here, dude. It's a walking mall. So
yeah,
those people kind of change their behaviors, and it's got to be worth it. If you're going to get the 3 kids in the SUV or the F-150,
yeah,
and you know your wife's going to be pissed if she has to walk too far.
yeah.
So you got to make sure it's worth it. So when she goes down and says, oh, how cute these shops are. Look how nice everybody is. Oh, this food was great. And then leaving, the kids are happy. You come back.
You sound just like my wife.
Wow. I get a lot of, I know what it sounds like to be on this receiving end of the decision-making process that led to a dinner that,
you're like,
fuck this place. I can't believe we had to walk all the way down here. And then that lady, she didn't even know that we were in this restaurant for about 6-7 minutes. And then she finally came over. I don't like the way she was looking at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Women are the king of 3-star reviews.
They are what drives the economy in the valley.
The DJ didn't play my song.
Oh, they get mad at you for not playing the song they want? Yeah, I bet, dude.
Do you have Tennessee whiskey?
Oh, my God. Please don't play it.
I got that request 7 times yesterday.
This one girl hit me up yesterday. The whole club was popping, and she's like, it's like an older girl or older woman, and she's like, you play this? It was Conway something.
Twitty?
Conway Twitty?
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But it was so slow.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like poppy energy to like this.
Yeah.
And then she came back, and then she's like, you didn't play my song. And I was like, man, you realize your song is like super slow. This is a poppy place. And she's like, yeah, I just like, you know, I called her out, and she understood like, I can't play that. And I'm like, you can't be mad at me right now, but you understand why I can't play it. You know?
Yeah.
And then she walked away, and you're like, you know what I said to her? I said, bitch.
Do you know that the only artist here at the monument to ever be performing and have to have a woman dragged off of him is Curfew. Right here.
Dragged off of you?
Yeah. She wouldn't get off the stage and she wouldn't leave him alone. She kept grabbing him.
3 times actually it happened.
Yeah.
You must have high tea.
No.
It's contagious.
Yeah, I think probably around 3 times. The last one was really funny.
Is that the one with Chef?
No, the last one was like a girl that was like trying to like, well, I guess we're not talking, we tried talking, and then she ghosted me, and then she came to the show and was like, oh my god, I'm your best friend, blah, blah, blah. And she got on stage, and then she was, I guess trying to get us on. I was like, no, get the fuck off of here. She wouldn't leave, and I looked at Chris, I was like, dude, get this bitch off of here.
Oh, yeah.
She dragged her off. I'm like, dude, like, God.
I dealt with that in West Virginia Friday night. Some chick was like right here in my face the whole time. I popped a string. I'm sitting there trying to freaking restring it. She's like, and she smelled like oranges and onions.
Ugh.
Her breath. If you can, it was a weird smell. And she was just like right here. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm getting paid. I need to play if you don't mind. But in my head, I'm like, bitch.
I don't know, man. I've come to the point where like I'll be as professional as I can. But sometimes when people are talking to me or something, like in that situation, if I was you, I'd be like, honey, what you been eating?
Yeah. Oranges and onions?
Can you go over yonder to the bar and get us a couple of Bud Lights if you don't mind? See if they still got them in stock.
Very tactful.
Yeah. And she's still walking away like, wait a minute. That motherfucker just say my breath stinks. What's going on? And he sent me to go get a beer.
Well, that's the thing. You gotta like be on their level. Like you gotta be on their drinking level. And there's one time I came here just be sober and not drink at all.
Yeah.
And then you really start smelling it, like just all breath, and I'm like, this is what I sound like and smell like when I'm drinking. It was just straight up gross. And I just never thought about that until I came here, like just being sober on purpose, and then talking to you. Like you gotta like be drunk to talk to them. Basically, I'm trying to say, just, like handle it.
Yesterday we had like 300 and some metalhead types walking around. Like I'm walking around, I look see people like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, man. I'm looking at every single situation that's going on right now. I'm working. Everybody else can have a wonderful time. But I'm not on your level, sir.
Yeah.
I'm on a mission to make sure you can have fun. That's it.
Yeah. And that's the thing about performing, is because you got to be right in that middle slot.
Yeah, a little
where you're
socially
working,
lubricated.
But you got to be on their level. And honestly, that's why a lot of musicians, alcohol really, they become alcoholics because you're constantly trying to be on the crowd's level because you connect with more people. People tip better. They're having a better time. So it's a weird dynamic. Takes discipline a little bit.
Yeah. Sustainable. That's what it is. And I don't mean the eco-friendly type. Just like the ability to do it perpetually.
Yeah. It's like, what's it? The Allman, Greg Allman. That motherfucker, there is not one, and he said this, there's not one time where he's been on film prior to 1985 where he was sober. His best performance, I forget what it was. I can't think of the song, but it's on YouTube, and it's his acoustic performance. He's like fucking it up, but then he saves it so beautifully, and he's wasted in that, but he's carrying it. You can't really tell.
Yeah.
But he is shithoused in that video. And it's one of his best performances. They say Arlo McKinley?
No.
Check him out.
Okay.
He's really good. Cincinnati kid. Real cool with Childers and all that. But he said, I met some of his good friends, and they say that he said he plays better when he's shithoused.
Right.
I think he just don't give a fuck anymore. It's kind of like that liquid courage, I guess.
Yeah, I guess to totally not. Yeah, I don't know how to play guitar. It seems pretty, I guess if you just got, like, there's a part of your brain, just like with playing video games, maybe, that just knows exactly what's going to happen, and you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And you just kind of chill. I could see social anxiety where it would be necessary to get good buzz on.
Yeah.
Just so you don't feel that fear and that adrenaline.
Yeah. Well, that's a hard fight because you're up there in front of everybody. Everyone's looking at you, just balls out. Here I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to play you a song. And it's like, you get into those modes. And I've seen a lot of artists that really just let that tear them up.
Yeah.
Haters. And then you start speculating, like, do they think I'm look like shit? Or can they tell if I'm stoned as fuck or something?
Yeah.
So you just start drinking. You get that feeling. You're like, fuck it. I need to be on their level.
I sang at church a few times as a kid in front of people, and I get real nervous about it. And then I didn't mess with music for a while through the early parts of puberty.
Yeah.
But one time I hung around some of my football playing friends, play guitar, and my best friend's a drummer. And we would just be hanging out. And one time they were getting ready to jam some stuff. And they started playing that new AC/DC album that came out in like 99 or 2000. The Stiff Upper Lip song. I was born with a stiff upper lip. Yeah. And for whatever reason, they were jamming that out, and I could nail it. And they were like, God damn, Tim Penny, how the hell you're nailing that? It sounds great. He's like, you should do that shit in the talent show next week. I'm like, what? And one of our special teams coaches even played guitar, and he's like, I'll play with you boys. Tim Penny sings.
Yeah.
And he dressed up like Angus Young. So the first time I actually held a microphone with guitarists with me was in front of like 1,500 people at my high school.
That's badass.
And I was so scared, like it was about to be a game or a fight. I threw up beforehand.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. And then I came out there, and as soon as I got out there in front of all these motherfuckers, something snapped in my head, and I just gave zero fucks about what they had to think. And it was one of the most amazing moments in my life. And after that, I was addicted to trying to perform in front of people.
Yeah, cool.
But it was a rush, bro.
What do you...
Because if I'd have fucked up, I'd have got made fun of.
Yeah, in high school.
Yeah.
High school's ruthless.
But there was a lot of people like, what is he doing? I've never seen this dude do anything like this.
Yeah.
You know, but it was crazy.
Well, when I was in high school, I was kind of learning how to play reading tabs. That's how I learned, self-taught. And this dude that was, I forget his name, he was the cool kid in the band, and puka beads were cool then.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
The white little tight necklace thing.
And you wear it all summer and it starts to degrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had like the shaggy hair. He was in some kind of alternative
Incubus band.
Incubus kind of band. Yeah. You know.
Birkenstock.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
he came over to my house while I was practicing. And he's like, let me hear you play. And I played, and he's like, you suck, dude.
What?
I'm like, what the fuck? Are you? It hurt me, man.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off and like really made me, I'm like, I'll show him. I'll fucking show him.
Nice. So that was a motivating factor for you.
Oh, I love it when people put me down and try to make things hard. It fires me up. I love the challenge.
Sadist? Is that what that is?
Dominatrix.
Oh, what's the word for when you find like, I understand. It's like you get so disciplined that sometimes you almost have to be told you suck at life, and then it does something to you that helps you perform.
Yeah.
What is that called when you need that feeling? What is it called?
Oh, like a boost? I don't know.
That's some word.
I call it firing me up. Well, it motivates you to prove them wrong. Like, fuck you.
Hey, will you look that up, Curfew? Look it up. He's got to do the thing like Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie.
David Goggins syndrome.
What? No, that's not. What did David Goggins? Impersonation syndrome or something like that?
Oh.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about...
Imposter syndrome? No, that's not.
Yeah, that's it. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about... God, is it sadist? Is that the word? I don't know what...
I think it is. That sounds right.
But I don't know. I hate whenever people use a word, but it's incorrectly used in a sentence.
Oh, I do that constantly.
What, use the wrong word in a sentence?
Always. My wife will listen to me talk and she'll be like, you use that word and I don't think you know what that means. I'm like, no. Sadist. It means you...
Somebody serves Satan.
Yeah.
No, let's say
sadist. It's like demonic worshipers.
That's awesome.
It's the work of the devil.
Wow. What happened, dude? Are you not on the sound guy internet?
It's just a vault.
We're in a vault. I know. I always feel like shit. It's for the new vault downstairs. Put the internet in the vault, dude.
That's the best.
Yeah. This thing is impenetrable except for the hole that we cut in the side of the wall. We had
that thing?
Yeah. Where'd you? So you a fishing guide by day?
Oh yeah. That's what my song, which I haven't put it out yet, a new song's about, that dynamic between fly fishing and solitude and then this kind of shit.
Right.
Appalachian bard.
Nice.
You know, like a bard back in the... It was like a musician in the medieval times. They called them bards.
Oh, cool.
It's some Lord of the Rings nerd shit.
Is that you're into that?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw a couple of movies. I took a group of it was one funny dude that reminded me of Fez on the 70s show. I let him come through, but I was working at this resort, and we'd have a whole bunch of Jamaicans come every year. And then we'd have this one particular year, we had a bunch of Latin people come, right, from Central and South America.
Yeah.
So they were from Argentina, Peru. But this one dude was funny from Peru. But I was a single dude at the time, so I made friends with him. He reminded me of Fez. But he had a whole gang of chicks from all over South America. And I was like, and they didn't have no way around. I was living there. I was like, y'all want to go see some movies or something sometime, hang out or whatever? I was like, he can come. He's cool. None of these other dudes. But you can bring all these chicks if you want to. And this dude's like, what, not me? It's like, no, man. No. Not on my dime and my gas and my time, sir.
Yeah.
And then I ended up taking him to the damn Lord of the Rings movies. God bless, that is a long thing. But imagine me sitting right in the middle of a bunch of Latins, about 8 of them.
Yeah.
In Roanoke, Virginia, having the time.
Yeah, that's pretty
They
funny.
were hilarious. I brought them in my mom and dad's house, and my mom and dad were like, what is happening? And I brought them everywhere. All the parties I went to, they were like, this is the greatest. I was the tour guide of the mountains in Virginia for these people, man.
Hell yeah. Virginia's got a big Latin population here, I noticed.
Up in here, yeah, it's going to be Salvador, but mostly Mexico. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep. A little bit of El Salvador, Guatemala. And then when you get closer to the city, it becomes almost exclusively El Salvador, Guatemala.
Yeah.
The closer you get in. You rarely meet any Mexicans in the city. It's crazy. They tend to stay out in the agriculture areas. And
I think Mexico has the most country culture of any of the South. Well, Argentina's got a thick country cowboy kind of thing.
Patagonia mountains and all that.
But Mexico, I
met a lot of cowboys.
Yeah. They're always wearing cowboy hats.
And they got the most expensive shoes that I've ever seen.
Some of them, the toe curls up.
Oh, yeah. When they come out with the balling out, we have the Latin nights here, you know. I don't see as many of the cowboy dudes I'd like to, but sometimes they come out flexing, man. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. They get in fights. Those little... some of those clubs that are like Mexican restaurants or like stores, and after 10 p.m. on a Saturday, they turn into a little fucking
saloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some of the funnest places. There's a club in Mobile, Alabama I used to go to called Mangoes. And it was
that's random.
It was an empanada cafe during the day.
Okay.
And then they'd shut it down, and they just had all these lights that would come out, this state-of-the-art audio system, and just they would pack it out. And I'm just this little fucking gringo.
Right.
Sitting in there like...
In Alabama. Yeah. That's great. It's like a little undercover hideout. That's
Mobile.
a speakeasy in modern times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's where Red Clay Strays are from. Mobile's a interesting little town.
I have an uncle he's a retired minister that lived in Jasper, Alabama, which is outside of Birmingham.
Yeah.
It's so hot and swampy in that area.
So freaking hot. I hate the heat. I hate that humid heat down there. It dry. The winters are phenomenal though.
Yeah, I bet. You know, my two favorite times a year. The first is like if you are in the mountains and you're up at like 8 and you're not hungover and you have energy. And going for a nice hike at that time.
Yeah.
Where it's nice warm air, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And the crickets are starting to like be quiet.
Yeah.
The birds are coming up. That's my favorite, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end of the night in the summer at the beach when it's not too hot and right before dusk.
Yeah.
Is that right? Dawn.
Yeah, that
dusk.
pink set.
Yes.
Where it's like pink and it's like an 80s Miami Vice kind of type scene. Yeah.
With a light breeze.
Yeah.
I think that in the mountains or on the beach, but probably I prefer it in the beach.
Yeah.
But I prefer my mornings in the mountains.
Yeah.
By a river.
Oh, yeah. You need to come down and come fishing with me.
I never did fly fishing, man. I thought it was beautiful, like the movements and stuff.
Well, we don't, on the East Coast and in the Smokies, we don't fish like you see Brad Pitt and a river runs through it, like false casting because it's so overgrown. We do something that's been developed by the old timers since like the 20s. It's called mountain high sticking.
Okay. And
you use like a 10-foot rod, really lightweight, and you just one shot, one kill, flip it out there and high stick it. And because if you're using a really short rod, you're going to sit there and you have to cast to get it out there. But with the long rod, you just plop it out.
All right.
That's the way that.
Do you let the current do the movements?
Yeah, the current takes it, and you're just keeping that line up off the water and high sticking it.
Whoa.
It was invented by it's been here forever. That's why they call it mountain high sticking. But that's the way to fish these streams. You can't YouTube it. You can't. There's really not much
just gotta
literature
learn
on
how
it.
to do it.
Yeah. It's kind of the guides in Tennessee that do these small blue line streams, like the blue line on a map, really small stuff.
Sure.
That's just kind of what we're teaching people to do. And there's really no YouTubes or any kind of YouTube university on the way we're doing things down there. You can find all sorts of shit about casting out west because you can cast all over the place out west because you don't have trees and shit.
Right.
Here, I mean, it's thick. This rhododendron in the Smokies is just, it's like Vietnam. You got a low crawl for miles in some of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I love that shit. I'm into dominatrix.
You're hilarious, dude.
I like being miserable as shit.
Did you figure out what sadist means?
I have no connection.
What the hell are you talking about, bro?
Gosh darn tootin'.
My dad was running a business, fishing boats, pontoon boats, and then sporting goods, but it was a lot of fishing gear.
Yeah.
And we used to get to go use all the new stuff. But the thing that would piss me off and him off the most in East Tennessee was getting the damn lines caught up in shrubbery and bullshit in the water. But we didn't do, fly fishing, but,
Yeah.
Bass. But mostly lakes.
Yeah.
But sometimes some rivers. Now, the catfish situation. Have you fished at Nola Chucky?
Yes.
That river's scary, bro.
It is. It's wide and it'll release. When it starts shooting water down and that water starts coming up, it's dangerous as shit. But upstream from the Nolan Chucky is safer, and there's some big, big fish in there. We just turned this into a fishing show.
It could be. A sadist is not what I was saying. A sadist enjoys making others feel that way. But what is it called when the person wants to feel that way?
What is it?
What is the opposite?
Synonym?
No, the antonym.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for, guys. Antonym for those listening, you young students. All right, I'm going to find out, guys.
Is it me?
Oh, my God. So the antonyms for sadistic is gentle, kind, nice, humane, and merciful. Masochist. That's the word I'm looking for. So there's a masochist in you that makes you feel like you got to be depleted or defeated or disciplined to a point of like 0.
Yeah.
So that you are then you like really quickly get back to 100. I don't know. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Masochist.
Masochist.
What? No, I'm not making any noise.
I think it's this headphone jack because it was slipping.
It sounded like a click track. There for a second.
See? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't this. I don't know. I'm not the engineer.
They used to do wires.
So, Micah, it'll be your second time playing here, right? When you come back?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
How'd you end up here with knowing all these people?
I met Jody through Make Country Music Sad Again, and we just hit it off.
Right on.
I just really fell in love with Jody. He's just one of the best dudes I've ever met. And just everyone I've met through him, and which is almost everyone up here,
right,
in some spider web connection way. It's just, he's a good dude. He surrounds himself with good people. If you're not, he doesn't deal with you. And that's how I like to work business. So it's just been, and then I found the music scene up here, met Low Water, and just became, it's my second home. Like, no shit. I'm up here all the time.
Yeah.
It's an 8-hour drive, and I'll take it anytime to be here because it's just, the music scene here is so underrated. There's so much freaking talent here. There's so many great venues. The booking agents and the promo people and people running those venues are always awesome.
Right.
So I just gravitate here because everywhere else, I mean, nothing against someplace, but like Nashville is just so saturated and commercialized now. And they don't pay. So you're getting in the negatives every time you go there. It's just kind of like a resume. Get it on your resume that you played in Nashville kind of thing. Or you're doing that once a year or something. But here, I mean, it's about the music here. And I think it's feeding off that West Virginia, Kentucky, alt country thing happening.
Right.
But I don't think Virginia's gotten the credit that they deserve out there. It's usually a lot of West Virginia, a lot of Kentucky, which are phenomenal, but Virginia needs a better seat at the table, I think.
Well, I think we're trying to do that, dude.
It's happening. And Jody, and that's what I saw when I came up here, and I said, Jody, there's something really good happening in your backyard.
Yeah.
And I want to help you tap into it.
We had Jake on the podcast the other day. His episode will air Tuesday. Jake Cohen?
Yeah.
Young man.
Oh, yeah.
And, he was, people around the world were like, wow, this kid. And his just influence of being around people, like you're saying, you want to surround yourself by people that are similar and good-natured.
Yeah.
And I think that is the atmosphere that people need to, like, really express themselves.
Yeah.
And boost their self. Some of these boys just hang out here. I think the EDM is unique, Curfew. I think you'll have a hard time creating a large scene here for that, unless we make tourism a part of it, and you get the kids to come out, and they're like, dude, you can go camping, and then you can come to the monument and see this crazy ass show, and it's super cool. You know what I mean? Make it a weekend. Yeah. Same thing with metal and certain things, but I think there's so many quality singer-songwriters here that you can pretty much put that part of what you do. You know, it's like we did it from the beginning, so it's the only thing we know organically that is plentiful.
Well, think about DJs, like big touring DJs, like you said, like we do the research on it. It's just they're so expensive, man.
Yeah,
it's hard to get like a guy down here that can sell out instantly, and you're talking like literally $10,000 investment. That's just for the artists.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I like the tourist thing you're talking about. This is a huge tourist destination. Is it? You get a lot of tourism here.
To a level, but I think that it's under, Well,
you get a lot of
optimized.
That DC coming here to
it's
get away.
It's an easy day drive.
Yeah.
So it's just a day trip.
Yeah.
It'd be a day trip if you were in the Harrisonburg area, but if you're in Harrisonburg area, there's really no need to day trip here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What is the most populated north from here to 81 on 81?
North? I was about to say Loudoun County, but I don't think that's it.
That's east.
That's not north though. North.
Fine. I need to just get on 81 one day and take off until I get to the biggest populated area north of here.
Like,
do some old classic recon.
Like in the state, or like
it could be PA. I mean, we're pretty close to PA. We're close to Maryland, obviously. Like, what's the most populated center that's similar to DC? If I go north, it could be 2 hours.
Would it be
how far
like
is Pittsburgh?
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg's heavy industrial area. It's right north of Gettysburg, right?
Like Carlisle down there.
Where?
Carlisle, like that whole area.
What is Carlisle, buddy?
Like fucking like where Hershey Park is, like near down there.
Okay. How many hours is that from here?
Hour and a half.
See, that's perfect.
Yeah.
A lot of young kids. It's all about population. So let's just say, are there 150,000 people there?
Yeah, PA.
How do you not know that, Curfew? When I was obsessed with metal music and I was trying to make a career out of it, I could tell you in like a 500-mile circle what the population density was and the potential for me to be able to get new audiences in those sectors. You get yourself out and map, buddy.
I just go by the biggest cities: DC, Baltimore. That's Richmond. That's like where all the EDM stuff is.
You gotta find these little nooks, dude, where these kids are at.
All that. It's hard to find. Like the only place I can think of, like it's like locally, it's like Frederick, Maryland. I know a lot of shows that go down there, or Tyson's. Like
Tyson's Corner?
Yeah, like area. They have like a little tiny little scene down there, but when it comes down to like big popularity, you gotta go to the bigger cities. It's the same thing. Unless you're a big touring artist and you like rent out the whole Coliseum or some shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
If I had a big old tour bus, I'd rather park it here than I would have to take it down to a concentrated, high dense area. God, those guys, man. Anybody that's driving a bunch of semis and shit down into DC is a really good driver.
Well, they almost got to clear out, have escorts for that.
Yeah.
To help, like, you know, like a wide load, towing a house kind of thing to get all that in there.
On the logistics side of grocery stores, I've seen them where, you know, tracking the trucks where they're going. They only send certain drivers certain size trucks down there.
Yeah.
You gotta be pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty smooth.
I've seen a dude pulling up on a dirt road into the national park, big, just full load semi, hauling a bunch of shit. And he's sitting there looking at his GPS like, and he's about to fall off this ravine.
Right.
And there's a sign that says no semis right next to him.
I'm getting her in there. Ice Road Truckers. Let's go. That's wild. Yeah. Dude, so you thinking this album out in August?
EP in August.
EP.
I'll say album September.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And you got good merch coming?
Yeah, we got some really good.
You got a redesign coming out, or is
Well, I just put out a new design. It's up on the website, MicahHowardMusic.com. You can get it there.
I only saw the fish shirts for sale.
It's like a chieftain, which I know is kind of cliche, but I made it pretty cool.
Right.
And everyone's really digging it. It's got like the skull with the chief head set.
Oh, yeah.
That one looks really cool. So we got that one. And I'm flirting with a couple other designs. I like to put it online to see if people like it. And then if it doesn't sell, I'll exit out. If it's selling, then I'll buy a hat. I'll get some on hand and then really try to press it online.
Right on.
Online's so easy to sell merch.
Yeah. You selling merch online, Curfew?
I have a website. I haven't updated it yet.
Shopify?
No, I just have my own website you order stuff from.
Yeah. I like the drop shipping because the print on demand stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's great quality. They're taking a little bit, but you're making 50%. You're always getting 50%. You're not doing anything. You just uploaded the design, pick the shirt you want. They're doing it for you.
Low cost.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do any of the shipping?
No, like they do all of that. It's been great.
That's what's up.
But then and I'm still learning all this merch stuff, the merch game. My merch game's gotten a lot better than what it was. I used to just not even have a table or anything, set it up on a chair, and it looked like shit.
Right.
And people are like, did someone just leave this? I'm like, no, I'm selling it.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the biggest issues with merch. I don't have a team.
You don't have a person
That's
to sell?
the hardest part because you can't do both.
Yeah.
When you have someone there, you sell way more. But if you're by yourself, you have to pretty much play and then hang out next to your table and look like a freaking AT&T guy at Walmart.
I feel like I'm begging for them to buy it at that moment. I'm gonna try to have someone there to sell it, but then again, my demand is for a person to sell it. I want a girl with big tits and a girl that's hot.
Yeah.
That's sales,
Yeah.
And it's hard to find that one that actually wants to work with me.
Yeah.
They gotta be big tits, at least hot, attractive. I don't know if that's mean or not, but I think it's simple marketing.
Well, I mean, there's merch people out there. Like my buddy Casey Stockton, he's the bluegrass loving Kentuckian on Instagram. He's like a white-tailed turkey guide. Real good friend of mine. He follows. I think he sold merch for Billy Strings. He sells merch for Town Mountain a lot and the Wooks in Kentucky. And that's what he does. They're like, hey, we need a merch guy. You want to come on out? And he'll just travel with them, selling merch. Nice. You kind of need to have somebody like that because you got to think you're selling more with them there so you can afford to pay someone to make you more money than you would without them,
Oh, and it's also a hard thing for a local person or an up-and-comer because then it's are you really worth my $20 versus going to see Morgan Wallen, you pay $50 for a t-shirt any day.
Yeah.
It's hard to break that figure. Right, I'm in a situation I'm trying to figure out what kind of merch can I bring that people just buy. What's a good example? Kind of we go through the cashier line, you have little candy bar, shit like that.
Yeah.
I thought about shot glasses. You can get 200 shot glasses for I think it was $230. something
Oh,
like that.
really?
I was selling $5 a piece.
Yeah.
It's like just like pocket change money. So like I
Yeah.
figured that wouldn't be a bad idea. And everyone likes a shot glass. It seems like.
Yeah.
Like,
Or the grinders. Low Water Bridge is selling grinders. I don't know if he's moving that or not. I gotta ask him.
I haven't seen him since he had them.
But it's all about the design. If you got a cool design. And that's the thing. I think merch is the new, because we don't have CDs or albums anymore where you open it up and it's got like, you know, all this art in it.
Mm-hmm.
Merch is kind of ramped up and taken the place of that because we're streaming now. So, like James Harner and Mike Gordon, I don't know if you see them on Facebook. They're just always competing. Who's got the first? Mike or James Harner is always the first person to buy like a new drop of design or something. Really? Always, because they're competing with each other. Like they'll show up to shows. Sometimes they've worn the same shirt on accident because they have everybody's merch. But that's cool, man. Like they're doing that. They're supporting us and they're making a game out of it. You know?
Yeah, Curfew, I think, man, just having like you need to find a contact dude that's like good at designing stuff and that designs your stuff. And then we could also partner with you, dude, for like some of these special events that you do, to where if you buy the ticket, you get some shit or whatever it is. So you install the merch sale within the ticket sale.
Yeah. I've been thinking about doing stuff like that.
And I don't want to get too into it, but there's a future for music here where if you were to buy a ticket to your show, perhaps, it would then include a vinyl or something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Vinyl's hard as shit to get right now. It's getting better, but I try to get vinyls made and there's a waiting list.
Well, there was already the PVC that's necessary in there is remember those fires on those trains?
Yeah.
So that'll have some market supply chain outcomes.
Yeah.
But then those products are needed for building.
Yeah.
And so that's probably one of the vinyl problems. And then people aren't specializing in vinyl. The equipment that's made to press is you'd have to resto mod quite a few of it if you want to keep your startup costs low. Or you got to be able to do a design out for those vinyl presses. And it's a lot of pressure. Anyway, I went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. So you're getting a vinyl press?
We're gonna test the feasibility of it. Yes.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be a customer for sure.
Yeah.
Because I want vinyls.
The thing that makes experiences worth your time, we're not really selling a venue. We're selling your time. So is your time worth it for the music? And then are you going to have something that's a relic of the experience? Yeah. That's like a whole 4D experience.
Relic of the experience. That's cool. Yeah. I like that. Noted. Just learn from you.
Man, you're cool dude to sit around and hang out with and talk to you, man. So I can see why everybody in the good old boys I like Logan. He's authentic and cool, and I like all them low water boys. And Jody too. He's a businessman, but he's also just a good dude. Likes music. Yeah, and I think we're all from the same area, so kind of vibe. Yeah, it's not like these weird con artist type people that you interact with in this business sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I had a guy, Elvis impersonator, sing to me on the phone, dude, try to get a show. And then
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then
I bet you get some crazy stuff.
Yeah, dude. Intensity, dude. But then again, I meet guys that are busking it, end up becoming really great, awesome allies and friends. Yeah. And are great musicians. Yeah.
Well, I held the Trout Fest this past spring. It was a big turnout, but I was asking for, like, who has these dates available and wants to play. I was trying to look for bands and all. And the messages I would get, it would be a lot of like the elderly that kind of retired and started playing
cover
a
band
banjo.
Type stuff. Yeah.
And they'll sit there. It's kind of, I don't know. It's not, it's like something you would play for a senior citizen retirement home. Not,
like sitting out in front of Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they just barrage you. So I learned, don't put ads out there like that. Go to people off the bat. So I'm learning every day in this game. There's so much.
But sometimes persistence is all right. Like I really wanted to book this Kiss tribute because I had seen them in Myrtle Beach years back, and I knew they were good. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot, that'd be awesome. And then they reached out, and I told him I was down, but he had to reach out a couple more times because he would call me like 10 p.m. on a Saturday or some shit, and I'd be like, "Man, I'm having this conversation. It sounds cool, but like, we can't have the conversation right now, dude."
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So, but sometimes persistence is okay unless you're gonna sing to me on the phone. That shit was.
You're a
crazy.
quick texter though.
Yeah.
Like you're a one-liner texter.
Oh, are you calling me a machine gun? There's a fucking thing going around here at work. I'm a machine gun texter.
You
dude.
are. You just hit these one-liners that
Yeah.
kind of get as much as you can in there about the info that needs to be.
Did you notice that? I guess.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, you sent me one text. I'm like, wait, what did you say? You said, what is when you were asking me my price for something for this coming show, you said, what'd you call it? Dadgummit.
I don't know. What's your guarantee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, guarantee? I guarantee I'll be there. And then I even sent that to Jody. I'm like, what does this mean? Is this some like music business term I've never heard? And he's like, oh, I think he means price. I'm like, that's what I thought. But now I use it to set because I'm like, he's intimidating me. He's got some insider vocabulary that I don't have. So now I use it to try and yeah, I know this word.
You
oh, you don't know that word?
I've always, I don't know shit about cars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, except for like on the massive manufacturing part, that makes me calm before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Just to research some weird shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But, what was I saying, dude? Oh, I would call my buddy that knows about cars if anything was ever wrong with my car, who's hours away down in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Just so he could prep me for what potentially could be going on. So when I interact with the garage dude, you know, I can have a couple key words in there.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, all right, this dude knows what's going on. I'll tell you what the thingamajig is on the thingamajig. Right down yonder in the thingamajig, but we'll get it in a couple of days. I'll be like, that's what I was thinking about that thingamajig. That's what my buddy's telling me. And then I feel like they think, okay, he probably knows what the market value is for this part.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't get fucked, you know.
But he's probably really like, this guy was told by somebody to say these two words and thinks he knows everything.
Yeah.
I'll do that too. I'll be like, yeah, my flux capacitor is overloading my CV axle. And they're like, yeah, well, you need oil.
Right on.
You've been driving around with no oil. That's your problem.
Sometimes you just got to simplify. I've had people get mad at me before, be like, hey, are you fucking making fun of me, man? Are you talking shit down to me? Like, what do you want? I'd be like, what do you mean, man? I don't even realize I did that. I'd be like, just move faster. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially some of these people I've worked with in the past. You got to show them respect man to man. I don't think you're talking sideways and they'll pick up a knife and hit you with it.
Oh, shit. Good.
Yeah, some of these kitchens in the big city, man.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want your dishwasher to hate you, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
One person in the building has to have your back as the leader, and that's the dishwasher. Because if, we're running low. All right.
It's all right.
Well, anyway, we'll wrap her up here, dude. Look forward to having you. Is this the 23rd? Oh, no. I'm fucking up, dude.
Yeah, 23rd.
Yes.
Good.
My hard drive is working today.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. Can't wait to...
Curfew's hitting us with the fade out video. We'll see Micah Howard in here on the 23rd with Pony Bradshaw. And what's the name of the other people? It didn't matter. All right, we'll see y'all then. Peace.
It's not just the new venue in town. It's a monument to live entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
The Monument, the new premier concert and event venue in Winchester. 2 stories, state-of-the-art sound, delicious food and drink, and the best in live events. The Monument, on the corner of Loudon and Piccadilly in Winchester, and right at the cutting edge of live entertainment. Go to themonumentva.com. That's themonumentva.com for events, tickets, special offers, and more. The Monument. We'll see you at the next show.